Oh, the shadow is crazy. Let me make sure my volume is up. That volume. There we go. There we go. Hey, good afternoon, good evening. How are you? How is everyone doing? It has been a minute, so I hope you all can hear me. Welcome, welcome. It is Transformation Tuesday, and I have just had an exciting couple of weeks. So I've been busy, but it's a good busy, and my baby girl has graduated high school. So I have no more children in school, when she's going to college, but um that I that I have to take care of. I don't know where all the fog is in here. Let me see it. Close it up in here. How well that is. Because we don't really have too many more windows in the room. So yeah, let's see if the light. All righty, let me get settled in here because I don't want that little light to be glaring. So hey, that is way better. All right, so how is everyone doing? How is everything going? Now, you can catch these Transformation Tuesdays also on the YouTube page, which is Coach T EnStacia White. And so you can always catch replay or live. Just go to YouTube and catch it live. I do have a lot of people that don't have a Facebook page, which I understand. And so you can do that. And let me make sure that it's all broadcasting because we got some juice to get going today. I cannot wait to talk about these tips and the whole point of, what's going on and what I'm trying to do with the mind shift changes and the Transformation Tuesday is just getting people to think outside the box, getting people to understand that it's okay to live your life. It's okay to live your life on your terms. You know what I mean? So you should be able to have a good time and enjoy life. It should not be stressed out all the time. It should not be tied up. Like I tell y'all, this year, the word that was given to me to live my life this year was simplicity. And in that came a lot of revelation. So let's get started. Okay. It's so bizarre, this lighting today, but it is what it is. All right. Now, when I'm always asking everybody, are you ready? Because it does take some work. It does take some investment. It does take some time for you to want to be better for yourself. You know what I mean? To do things for yourself, to be in it for yourself, to start living for yourself. It takes some restructuring. It takes some mental restructuring. And that's what I've been doing these last couple of weeks. So if you haven't been watching, you can always go to the business page, the Dreams Org LLC with T EnStacia White, and catch these replays of the Transformation Tuesdays because they've been amazing and they are life-changing. So make sure that you do that. Make sure that you catch that and kind of rewind and kind of, go with the process, because what it is shifting your mindset to being in the life where you are right now so that you can get to where you want to get to. Even when obstacles come in your way, you're setting up a plan for your life. Okay. So that's basically what's going on. And if you are joining us, first off, share this link with friends, because this thing right here is mind-blowing. It is things that you should be doing for your expansion of your life, right? So it is things that you should have in place. Okay, so there are tips. And a lot of the times I have tips and then I have work for you to do. Today, I just strictly have some tips on what it is that you need to do, okay, to really start balancing out your life, okay? And so that's really what we're going to be talking about. Look, y'all see my grandbaby's Lilo and Stitch. She got in my office. This is real life here. It's real life. All right. So let's get started. So the time on your terms, and are you being intentional? Are you doing things intentionally to do that? Right. So that's really what this is about today, is giving you pointers on how to be intentional on what you are doing in life. Sorry, y'all. Okay. So what does it mean to live life on your terms? What does that mean? When I say that, because I say it often, when I say that, what does that mean to you? So, what does it mean to live life on your terms? What does that mean for you? And that's a question that you have to ask yourself. That's a question that I've asked myself many times so that I have clarity and understanding on what it is that I'm living for, right? So when I say that, when I say living life on my terms, that's exactly what I mean. It is me having balance, me providing a space where I can make sure that I have self-care for myself, that I'm providing a space where I can nurture relationships that I have, and that I want to develop, me to make sure that I have space and time to run my business and do the things that I love. And that's pretty much what life should be about. Life should be about you doing the things that you enjoy doing. And when I started this whole transformation and transformation to deciding to live a better life for myself, I realized that a lot of people aren't making sure that they're putting strategies into their lives to make sure that they're living lives on their terms. Okay. So, and that's what it is, just creating a balance. So living a term free life can mean different things to different people. So what it means for me does not necessarily to a T mean the exact same thing for you. And I tell people that all the time. It's the same thing when I always say my definition of the word success for my life is not going to be the same for everybody else. Success for me is not going to look like what it looks like for everybody else, because I'm my own person. We're all our own people, you know? And once we realize that and understand that, then we're able to move on. For some, it is being financially independent. For others, it is creating a high power career in a family or a small business. See where I'm going? So you have to determine for you exactly what that looks like. But what I am here today to do is to help jumpstart, to jolt, to catapult you and who else is listening to that space, into that time. All right. So just in case you don't know, I am EnStacia Weiss. I am the transitional coach. I help people that are going through divorce, marriage, having babies for the first time, anything that's a huge transformation in your life. I help you create a plan to focus on whatever it is that you need at that time to make sure that you're able to move, all right, into the space you want to move into. Okay. So, all right. So, with that being said, let's get this party started. So, why is it important to live on your terms? Okay? So, the first question is um what what is live life on your terms? What does that mean to you? And the second one is, why is it important? Okay. I don't know what's going on with me. Here we go. Tent to live life on your terms. And if you are catching this on the replay, just answer the questions. If you're watching now, answer the questions below. Why do you feel it's necessary? Because when I have these transformation Tuesdays, I really am wanting this to be a conversation. I really do want this to be an engagement. So if you are checking in, just say, hey, where you from? How you doing? Where you at? Where you living? What the weather is like? Whatever it is you want to share with me, just share it during the process of this conversation, because this is geared to being like a conversation that is getting people motivated on and engaging with each other. That's why I set the time. I set this time so that we can engage, and have some conversations on what that really looks like. So the question is, oh, I didn't send it. There we go. Why is it important to live life on your terms? Okay. So let's get into it. The idea of radically taking charge of your life can be scary. And it can be. It can be. I'm not going to say when I first decided that this is what I was going to do that I wasn't terrified of what it is and all the work that I was going to need to do. But once I started doing the work, things started becoming easier. And I realized that it was exactly what I needed to do to push past it. Because anytime you're uncomfortable, you're exactly where you need to be. You have to push past that uncomfort level to get to where your purpose is. All right. So after all, we live in a society that engages us to take a little charge as possible. The problem with this is, however, is that when you go through life without a purpose, listen here now, you got to have a purpose. It's the whole part of this purpose or a plan. You lose touch with what matters to you and lose touch of your joy. Now, remember, I've been talking to you all about the 4 principles to live by: peace, joy, love, and faith. Right? So if you live by those 4 principles, then you're guaranteed to be moving into your purpose. You'll figure out what your purpose is because your mind will be freer. You'll be able to be free to focus on you. If you decide to do these things, then a lot will start opening up. If you decide to have a plan and moving your purpose, then doors will start opening up. All right. So now, what we're going to be talking about is some things being intentional. So anytime that you are trying to be intentional about living life on your terms, that means that you have to do that daily. You are putting in habits. You are putting in place a stability. And what I like to call that is the foundation. Okay. So you're laying down a solid foundation so that you can start building something that's unshakable, something that is unmovable. Right. And so when you do that, you have to make sure that you're living life on your terms every single day. Okay. And that's called putting habits, putting daily habits into your lives so that you won't deter from them. There'll be just something that you do every day, and then it becomes normalcy. It becomes something that is normal. And then when you do that, you start living a simpler type of life. All right. So sometimes living life on your terms means making a break from things or making y'all hear me, radical and dramatic changes to your personal and professional environment. Okay. So you are literally doing things that you haven't done before so you can get to the things that you have never done before. Does that make sense? That's your purpose is. All right. Sometimes, however, it is simple as being a little more mindful or spending a little more time looking inward. And that's a lot of the work that I do. I make you look at yourself because that's the only way that you're going to change your mindset. That's the only way that you're going to change your mindset. So think about that. But let's talk about the first tip. All right. So it is figure out. Okay, I think it's me, y'all. Figure out what matter to you. A lot of us just go around just living. A lot of us just go around just living. We're not really thinking about the things that matter most to us. We're not focusing on what that looks like to do the things that we really care about. And so with that being said, and in doing that, you are robbing yourself of the joy, you know what I'm saying, and the peace, and you're robbing yourself of those things. So I don't want you to do that. Okay, don't do that. Because only reason why I'm saying all these things, because that's what I was doing for a period of time in my life. I was micromanaging everything, overworking myself with everything, stressing myself out to the fullest, um, to just be running around in circles, to just be doing the same thing over and over again. And I was literally driving myself crazy, my family crazy. So this is why I'm always, telling people, that they should make sure that they know what it is that they want to do in life. Because it does matter. What you need and what you feel that you need, it matters. And let me see. Trying to send this. There we go. And I'll be answering questions. So when I get silent and I get off, I'm answering questions. So that's what's happening. All right. So let's get on. Let's get back to focus. Okay. You can't define your life and give it direction until you figure out what matters the most to you. And a lot of us will say, oh, my children, oh, my family. That is amazing. That is great. I'm not telling you not to put your family up there, but I'm saying we're talking about you. So you have to figure out what it is that you want, and then everything else should fold into the things that matter to you the most, right? And that's pretty much how it should work. I feel like, there we go. I don't know why I feel like I gotta click it so much. All right. So then this take some time to figure out what your purpose is, and go ahead and accept the fact that this purpose might change several times over the coming months and days. Because when you're just figuring it out, you're kind of, you have a broad idea, but then you have to narrow it down so that it kind of makes sense and it fits for you. What a lot of people confuse things with is that they see someone else doing something and they go, oh, I can do that, right? And then it's really not exactly how you're supposed to be doing it. So then you're trying to use someone else's format to enhance your life and your skills, and that's not how it works. And so you really have to know what it is that you want in life. All right, so when you figure out your principle, okay, so in my book, if you haven't gotten it already, in the book I speak on the principles. So we talk about principles, and it's very important that you know your principles. So it's two types. Price is a principle, and knowing and knowing, and morals are principles. So those are things that you need to sit down and understand. Okay, so what principle am I, my value, not my value, my price, or how do I set myself? And I talk about that a little bit in the book. So it's very in your moral principle, you have to know what's your limit, you know what I'm saying? And what is the thing that you'd be like, I'm not doing that, but I will do this. That's what you need to know about you. That's what you need to know about you, because those type of things matter. All right. So you'll be able to stay on course and find a way to direct yourself joyfully. There go that word again. I tell y'all got to find those 4 principles and place them into your lives if you want to start this journey correct. Joyfully through life. You have to ask yourself what really sums you up. Who are you, girl? Who are you? That's really what it is. Who are you? What are you here for? And most of the thing I always ask people, why are you here? Why are you here? That's the question I ask a lot of people. Why are you here? All right. You have to ask, oh, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. And you have to make sure that you're the one in control of your thoughts because, ooh, y'all, that's power. If you ain't wrote nothing I'm saying down, if you aren't calculating or listening or processing the things that I am saying to you today, you need to re-listen to this video a couple of times or take some notes in your journal. If you don't have a journal, you know I got one for you. But that was power right there. So I'm going to re-say it. Let's start over. You have to ask yourself what really sums you up. However, and you have to make sure that you're the one in control of your thoughts. Sometimes we try to take other people, what they're doing, and we're listening to so many people that we're trying to take what they're doing and apply it to our lives. But y'all, it don't work like that. We are all uniquely made. Now, yeah, the broad idea, yeah, of course. But then you got to narrow that idea down. You got to put that idea into what it is, who it is you are. Okay. So make sure you remember that thought and emotions. And so don't allow other people to control what is going on with you. Okay. Ask yourself, what is it that lights you up? And so, like I tell people, I think that it was always natural for me. I love people. So I enjoy assisting people. I really have a passion for that. I really have a passion. I really want people because it really, truly lights me up when I see people win. I love to see people win. And so that for me is my light up. So in any way that I can assist someone to getting to their dream, to making their dream happen, to live their millionaire dream life, I am all for that. And so I think that that's really what my purpose is. But everybody has to find their purpose, right? And I think that that is huge, 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 huge for people to make sure that they're doing that. Okay, so number 1, I put it in the chat. So number 1, I did put it in the chat. It is figure out what matters to you. That's number 1. Number 2. Now, for some reason today I'm typing super slow. So kick your inner, and I talk about this a lot, critic. We've been talking about this to the curb. We have been talking about this right here in every single mindset that I've been doing. Every single mindset, this has creeped up. Okay, so what it is we all have this inner voice that sometimes can trip us out. Okay, it can mess us up. So we have to kick that voice to the curb if it is not. Oh, I don't think I'm putting these in the right spot. Oh, yes, I am. I'm sorry. If it is not doing or moving you forward, if it's that voice that's always coming up telling you what you can't do, how you can't do it, see, that's why I told you not to do it. That's the voice that you need to be like, bye. That's the voice that needs to go. And it needs to go ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Like it cannot stay. It can't stay. So that's the voice that needs to leave. That's the one that you need to make sure does not come back to this residence, because it keeps you in that fear mode. It keeps you chained up and paralyzed. And there's somebody out there that you're supposed to be helping or getting to their destiny. And if you're paralyzed and can't move, you holding up somebody else. Okay. So because we're all in this together, we're all connected. All right. So kick your inner critic to the curb. When you start to enact positive change in your life, our inner critic likes to strike. And sometimes we always talk about the haters. Sometimes our inner critic is the biggest hater. It's the biggest hater of them all. And so we have to learn that we got to get past that. And the best way that I found to get past that, the best way that I found to get past that is to write, to journal, because that is power between this pen and that paper in your mind. So when your mind decides that it wants to put down on paper, it's power in that. It's very powerful. So I feel like that's what you should be. I'm sorry. I feel like that's exactly what you need to do to keep that power moving forward is take those thoughts, get this pen, paper, pencil, whatever it is you prefer, and get that on paper. Get your thoughts on paper, because that's the best way to combat that inner voice. It's the best way to combat it, because then when you write it down, there's power in that. All right. So, and I talked about this, so that inner voice keeps you stuck, scared, and paralyzed. That's exactly what I said earlier. It will keep you paralyzed by our self-doubts. And that's why a lot of us don't move. That's why a lot of us are not doing the things that we're supposed to do to make us prosperous, to make us living our millionaire dream life. That's why we can't figure out how to live life on our terms. So we live in life on somebody else's terms. We ain't even living life for us. We out here busting up and doing all kinds of stuff we hate doing for other people. And that's where the trap begins. And so we must decide to silence that inner voice when it's talking crazy to us like that. Okay. Your inner voice is your biggest enemy in this life, but she can be overcome by developing a defense application that reinforces your individuality and who you are inside. When you know what you want, that was number one, right? So when you know what you want, you will be able to start silencing that voice. If you put your thoughts to paper, you will begin to silence that voice. When you start walking into whatever it is that you want to do, you will start silencing that voice. And then pretty soon, that voice won't be a critic no more. That voice will be your biggest cheerleader telling you, girl, you got this. Go ahead on and do what it is you're supposed to be doing in life. That's what happens when you silence that voice. Taking control of your own life means limiting and eliminating this voice, where you can learn more positive ways to cope and encourage yourself greatness. Notice when you're starting to attack yourself and don't let yourself argue. Instead, pull back and remind yourself that you're a powerhouse. Remind yourself of who you are. Remind yourself of whose you are. And remind yourself that you were placed on this earth to do great things, period. All right, so that's number two. Y'all got that? So number two is kick that inner voice to the curb, okay? All right, so number three is cut out the toxic people in your life. Everybody doesn't have a major role. When we watch like television, everybody ain't the star. Everybody is not the star. So in your life, in your personal life, you the star. So you can't have everybody coming in your life and everybody in your life wanting to be the star of your show. It doesn't work like that. And I'm not saying you should be superficial and you're the best and you shouldn't have friends. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is number three said you have to cut out the toxic. And toxic, I'm seeing, is a very popular word now that we are using for people. And this is what it is that you're going to have to do. And it's not a bad thing. You don't have to cut out people in malice. I feel like, okay, what I like to say when I'm saying, cut out the toxic people, it's like chess. right? I don't really know how to play chess, but I do know that each move that is made is a maneuver. Like it is the way that it goes for the long haul, right? For the success. So for you to win. So this is exactly what this is. I'm not saying you got to do it and cut people off and cuss everybody out and do all that. That is not what Coach T is saying. What I am saying, you need to do it with a health mindset behind it. And so everybody just can't be your co-star. So there might be some people that you have in around you that are supporting actors, and then there might be some people that are way back there and they just part of the show. You know what you call the extras, right? So they're not. You ain't just say, "Girl, you out my life because you toxic." You don't have to do all that. You just have to put people on the chessboard where they're supposed to be on the chessboard, if that makes any sense. And I hope so, because that's exactly how life is. So you don't have to. So when we say cut, we don't mean cut with malice, because you can't live in joy, peace. What I say, peace, love, and faith. You can't have those four principles and you walk around with all this malice around you. You walking all around with you telling people they toxic and all that. You ain't even got to tell this person that they're toxic. You don't even have to go into that conversation, because you have control over how much time you spend with anybody. Okay. Yes. And if you are here, I'm here for it. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for coming in and tell me where you're from. We are on strategy 3 of living life on your terms. And so, and this one, oh, all right. So that's 3. And the toxic people in your lives are the ones who make their mission to interfere with your business. And so if you are putting people on the chessboard where they're supposed to be, those people that are way back there that are just the extras, they shouldn't know nothing about your business anyway, right? Because they're not a part of the show. They're just, extras running in and out, and they're extra. So they might be somebody that you see cordially, or they might be a connection that for, your progress. So you have to make sure that because you're the one, you the star of your life, baby, you the one in control. You have to make sure that you are putting people in their right places. And you can't be mad at people that's being toxic in your life because you're allowing them to. I know a lot of the stuff I say hurts, but baby, I'm a coach. I'm a life coach. I'm a transformation coach. So when you go through transitions, what I'm saying now, a transitional coach. So when you go through transitions, they're not always easy transitions. So this is a part of that. This is a part of that transition when you are putting people in their place. And this could be, people that have been very, very close to you, but every time they don't, they have some major problem with you being in success, with you moving in success. They have a problem with that. So that means that they have to be at a certain part of this board that is not going to affect your life. All right. Eliminate these people from your life. Focus instead on surrounding yourself with people who support you or your quest to live the life that you have been dreaming. I tell you that all the time. And when you decide to put people in their place, the people you want are going to come to you. They're going to migrate to you like a magnet. The people that you are, when that positive energy get out there and you start doing the things that you're supposed to do, the people that are supposed to be with you, supporting you, and in that position as your co-stars, they're going to assist you and they're going to come to you. All right. So don't sweat it. Don't sweat the small stuff, but you do. Okay. So a lot of people here, go tell somebody else. So don't even sweat that. You know what I'm saying? Don't even think about that. Think about what it is that you need for yourself. Okay. And what it is that's going to make this movie of your life a success. All right. We on to number 4. 4 strategies. Okay. So all of these are mind shift strategies. So these are mindsets. So I need you all to start thinking of different mindsets to get you into moving in to wherever it is that you want to be in life. That's pretty basically what it is. All right. Okay, so number 4, take responsibility for your own happiness. And I talk about happiness all the time, and happiness to me is linked with joy. So when you find joy in life, when you find joy in the little things, when you find joy in just waking up, yes. When you find joy in those things, then happiness comes. Happiness is right behind joy. Like happiness, when you decide that your heart needs to be filled with joy, then you're on your way to just amazing. You're on your way to amazing. But let me write that down. I didn't write it down. So let me write it down in here. So number 4, and it says, take responsibility for your happiness. I think a lot of times we want to shift our happiness and why we're not happy on other people. But if we did number 1, and then we started doing, if we follow these strategies, we're going to run into happiness. It is our fault. If right now you sitting in a pile of unhappiness, it is a choice. If y'all follow me at all, I always put that, I have that on my page. Happiness is a choice. It is a choice. And I know things happen in life that are devastating, and at moments you are in a state of unhappiness, because some things that happen to people are, it's a setback and it's hard, and I get it. But if you stay in that for life, then that's where the problem lies. That's where the problem is. And you have to find some type of joy to keep moving. You understand what I'm saying? And you really dictate that. But what I will say, if when you start living in your true purpose and you start moving and organizing your life to live your millionaire dream life, then happiness follows that. I'm not saying every day is peachy cream, but I'm not saying that, but in that kind of when you're not feeling your best or things are not going the best, in that you deal with it on a different level because of the joy you feel inside. So that makes you maneuver a little different. If you understand what I'm saying, clap your hands. If you understand what I'm saying, y'all gotta respond back or something. Okay. Why am I spelling wrong today? Okay, let's try it again. All right. There it is. All right, boom. Oh, I think I still did it wrong. We'll go back and fix it. All right, so that was number 4, but let's talk about it a little bit. Though we are encouraged to think that happiness can be found in material goods. Please don't do that. Don't do that. If that is your thing, because the world has told us that uh looking a certain way or doing this or buying these and doing that should bring us happiness. Being rich should just automatically bring us happiness. And I tell y'all, day after day after day of coaching, that is further from the truth. Happiness comes within. Peace comes within. So it doesn't matter how much money I have. Doesn't matter, when we reach the millionaire status and we get there and we're just full of ugh on the inside, we're still going to have that same ugh with $1 million. All right. So material things, we've romanticized that, and that's not the case. Nothing could be further from the truth. Happiness can only come from within. Okay. So the only way to live life on your terms. Now, this is what this whole cycle is. The only way to live life on your terms is to embrace this All right. Is to fully embrace this. And I'm telling you guys, if you can't figure out how to be joyful, and live with peace inside, you will not be able to live life on your terms, the way that you should be operating life. And I know that's kind of hard to say because people are like, but this is real. It's a center, it's a balance that's going to happen inside of you if you use these mindset shifts that I'm giving y'all on every other Tuesday for Transformation Tuesday. It's something that is a process, but when that process starts happening, you just are building so much character in you, and you are figuring out who you are, that no matter what is going on in the world, you can handle it with such grace and class. Okay. So the only way to fully enjoy your life is to love. What did I say? One of the four principles was, let's go back, is love, joy, peace, happiness. I mean, not happiness. Sorry, y'all. Love, joy, peace, and faith. Those are the four principles. And here we go. The only way to fully enjoy life is to love and accept yourself. Period. And no matter what condition that's in, no matter what you feel like, you might not feel like you're enough right now, but baby, you are enough. Girl, you enough. You enough right now in that stage you're in right now. Right now, wherever it is that you're in. Once you decide to take your life back and decide that I am enough and start moving in that, you are destined to start living in your purpose, whatever that is. All right. Give value to other people, but never value the opinions or desires of others over your own, because you have decided what it is that you enjoy in life. That was number one, right? You have decided that. So once you decide what it is that you figure out what matters to you, once you decide that, then now you are moving in that. You are moving in the process of what it is that makes me smile, what it is that just makes me laugh and giggle, to myself, even when I'm alone. All right. So, but make space for collaborations. If you haven't already joined the Facebook group called Living Your Millionaire Dream Life, please do so. Join that group, because we're doing some collaboration, wanting to collaborate on different levels with people across the world. And I think collaborations are something that is needed because it fills your soul. People who have positive energy are electrifying to other people with positive energy. It charges you and it makes you want to just move and go and flow, right? So make space for collaborations, but always make sure that it's plenty of room for you and your own needs and desires. Being happy with others is a lovely thing, but not when it comes at the cost of your own. So, like I told you earlier, I love to see people win. I love to see people win. Love it, love it, love it. That's what my whole entire life is based on, to get people to getting the life that they want, right? Discovering what it is that they want out of life. And so, but sometimes I got to sit back, because when you do that kind of work, it's draining. And so if I'm living for me and I want me to be the most healthiest person for me, I can't be steam ahead and doing everything and saying yes to this person, yes to that person. I have to make sure that I'm mentally stable in mind, body, and soul in order to do my job effectively. And so those things are important. All the things that I'm sharing with you, all these good nuggets are important. Okay. So our fifth one, I'm sorry, guys. Our fifth one is set clear, define goals. Now, this is real talk right here. Set clearly defined goals. And this is where this comes in. This is the life planner. And baby, I done broke down all of that for you all. If you haven't seen it, don't know what it is, haven't checked it out, we need to do a one-on-one ASAP, because this book will change your life if you use it effectively. And it will start allowing you to see who you are, allowing you to go through each and every one of these steps that I'm telling you to live on your terms. You will be able to see that and move through that. Okay. So It's very important. And that's the Dream Success Living Life Planner, but it's the whole kit. If you want the whole entire collection, that's a collection, but this will change your life. All right. So 5, setting clear goals. And that's when I'm always talking to people about setting their goals. That's part of what I do. In order for you to get through a transition, you have to have some goals in place to get to the other side, right? So, if you're feeling trampled over, my goodness, reading tonight is a hard thing tonight. You're feeling trampled over, washed out by life, it can be easy to view your goals and the things you want in negative terms. Now, all this series, if you have been following along, we've been talking about speaking to yourself, speaking outward positively, because that brings back more positive energy. So the moment you decide that you're on this negative Nancy train, then a lot of negative energy and vibes are going to come your way, smacking you down, smacking you quick. Okay. And it don't feel good. But the moment you are on the positive and optimistic train, then a lot of good will come. I'm not saying you don't have bad days. That's not life, baby. Life will bring you a lot. But how you handle those bad days will be tremendously different if you're being more optimistic, okay, on life. All right. So write down a list. I tell you guys this every single Transformation Tuesday. Write down a list of things you want in life. You know what? I was a careers teacher this year. And school is over. Today was the last official day. So anyway, I was the careers teacher, and I was talking to my students and telling them at the end of the year report that they had to do was basically their dream life, right? What do you want out of life? If when you graduate high school, what do you want out of life? And that was the hardest thing for them to do, to imagine what they wanted out of life, what it was that they wanted from life. And it was hard for them to imagine what that was. And so I've always been a dreamer. So I couldn't relate to that experience for them. But we have to do better, even as parents. We have to do better, even as showing, our youth that it's okay to imagine what it is, to write down what kind of car you want when you grow up, to write down what kind of house you want. When we were younger, we played the little game called MASH. Might be dating myself, but it gave us an opportunity to imagine what we wanted out of life. It gave us an opportunity to think about, do we want to be married or not? How many kids we might want to have or not? It gave us that opportunity where this is exactly what I'm telling you. But this is what you need. You need to have that creativity so that you can design the life that you want and what you want it to look like. The better approach. Oh, wait, write down. Next, take some time to think about a specific action you can take to get there. So you write what you want, girl. Write what you want. What you want. Tell me what you want right now in the message right now. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. If you can get it, tell me what you want. And what would that look like? All right. Set yourself small waypoints. And I always tell people, do small goals leading up to the big goals. But like I said, all of this is already in the Successful Living Planner. So everything that I'm saying to you is in the planner already. It's all in there. It kind of gives you some information, how some success. That's one of the topics in the planner, just talking about what success looks like to you. And let's design this plan. And so that is what it is you need to do. You just write it down in small group and then track it. Track your progress on how you're getting there. And it's not like so much work to do. It's a very easy thing, because once you start practicing these things, they become really easy for you to do. All right. And stay away from creating too many goals. Okay. Don't do that. think about, so you use up a timeline, right? So how I, the ways that if you use this life planner, it's going to show you how to do the little small things, and then how to execute it, what that plan looks like to get you to whatever it is that your long-term or book goal is, and how much time it is that you need to get that done. Okay. All right. So stay away from creating too many goals or looking too far into the future, because that kind of it overwhelms you. It throws that person that talks to you, the one that I told you to throw to the curb. That person comes back and start talking to you, telling you about how you can't get this done and you running out of time. Da, 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 da. But when you do little small goals and give yourself, a normal time range to get that done, it's not pressure like that. It's no stress in that. And 9 times out of 10, you get that done. All right. So how many more we got today? All right. So we are on 6 now. Consider your past, but don't get caught up in it. Now, one thing is, I don't really like going off into the past. I really don't. So this step for me is, I don't really like us dwelling too much on the past. The only time I really want you to consider the past, it's the only time, is when you made a horrible mistake. Horrible mistake. I don't want you to internalize it and then be sad and all that in it. That's not what I'm saying. I want you to internalize it so that you won't do it again, whatever that was, that you won't fall back into that pattern again, that you won't go back to whatever that was and start living in that again. That's the only time I want you to analyze, and how'd you get there? So what were some of the actions or behaviors or things that you were doing to even get you into that state, right? So that's what I want you to dwell on when I'm talking about considering the past. But going off into it and soaking all the way back to past, I don't want none of that. I just want you to, how did I get to that point that I was there? To make sure that I don't do that again. Because sometimes we got to analyze some stuff, or we'll be back into that same routine again. And if it's something in your past that you felt that you messed up, because we all mess up. I know it's a ton of things that I've done in my past. I'm like, why did I even do that? That was stupid. I wasted a lot of time on that. I don't even know why I did. So we've all done it. Ain't nobody perfect. But instead of me sitting and groveling in that, I have to move on and think about, okay, I don't want to be in that state again. It's just that simple. All right. Oh, okay. So what was number? Oh no, we're on 6. So consider your past, but don't get caught up in it. You only are considering your past to figure out what it is that you did that you don't want to repeat. That's basically the bottom line to that. All right. Number 7, mind your own business. And where we get caught up is we always want to be, so say that it's Tiffany out there. I'm just using the name. Tiffany, I'm just using the name. Tiffany's out there and she doing her thing and she living her best life and she moving and shaking and doing everything that she's supposed to be doing. You will congratulate her and you mind your business. Don't try to formulate your business to look like her business. Don't try to patent your stuff to look like that stuff. You mind your business. You focus on what it is that you said you wanted in step 1 or strategy 1. You focus on that and you move into whatever it is your heart desire and purpose is for you, because we will get caught up in being all up in somebody else's business, trying to do what they do. And that is a big no-no. It is a big no-no, because then you get confused on what it is you're supposed to be doing. Everybody might have the same. A lot of people might have the same thing. Like there's plenty of car salesmen, right? But there's just some car salesmen that do what they do and they do it differently. There's some other ones that do what they do and they do it differently. Everybody can't walk around being the same exact car salesman. It just doesn't work. It doesn't, because there's so many different people out there with different personalities where it's just not going to work if everybody was the same. And so we have to know that for our business or our life or wherever we walking around doing in this life. You have to know that for yourself. All right. Yeah, it has almost been an hour already. I don't know where the time goes, but let's put number 7 up there. So mind your business. Sis, mind your business. More often than not, we fail in life and live life. We fail to live life on our terms because we cannot keep our noses out of other people's business. That's what I just said. It's our human nature. Not only does it drive us to be curious, it also drives us to seek the love and acceptance of people around us. And of course, everybody wants to be loved. Of course, everybody wants to seek attention, but you need to stay focused on what it is that you're here for. And that's pretty much I can say on the mind your business one. 8, stop. Stop holding yourself back. Run, run, run. Now, which is ironic about this is in my nonprofit, the Empowering Girls movement is based on the run concept. Okay. So what it is the R is redefining your success, right? We teach young ladies how to redefine success because the world has told us that this is one box that success looks like, and if you get into that box, you're successful. But as we know, personally, success looks different to everybody in different stages of their lives. So that's the R. The U is understanding your value. When you understand your value, your principles, right? We talked about that a little earlier. Then it makes your inner self more powerful. You're empowered now because you know your value, right? And notice your worth. If a person understands their value, the world will notice their worth. That's a true thing. I don't make this up. And so that's our run. You run for it. Run to go get what it is that is supposed to be yours anyway. It is yours anyway. So go run for it. Stop holding back. So 8, we're going to end this on 8. Stop holding back. Yourself. Stop holding yourself back and run for it. Okay. Power, power, power. And if we use the same kind of like the Empowering Girls movement, it's the same thing for us. We need to run. We need to know what our success looks like. We need to understand our value, and the world will notice our worth. And once that happens, there's no gimmicks you have to do. You don't have to be like nobody else because you, period. All right. So though it is important to analyze a situation carefully before jumping into conclusions, it's equally as important to make sure we are not allowing others to be paralyzed by fear. We all hesitate when we're faced with difficult decisions. So that's one thing I want us to conquer. When something difficult comes, don't hesitate. Just go with whatever, just go with it. Because once you conquer that fear, then you're able to move further. You're able to go, then it's going to be something else you got to push through, and you're going to push through. But more often than not, the hesitations comes from a sense of self-doubt more than a need of consideration. So stop doubting yourself. Know that you're enough. Know that you have the power to move, to run, to do every single thing you have been placed on this earth to do. And I hope that these mindset shifts and these transformation Tuesdays are supportive, are helpful to others, to you. And make sure you share this video with your friends. Make sure if you come back on the replay, tell me it's a replay. It's important that we take charge of our lives and we start living the best life that we're living, and stop allowing life to live you. Stop procrastinating on life, because life goes fast. Life goes fast. And you don't want to be looking back with the shoulda, woulda, coulda. because you have all the opportunity. You have all the opportunity, even when it looks like you don't. You do. So you can make sure that you go like the Facebook group page. And we'll put that in here. There we go. Make sure you go like the Facebook group page. Make sure that you get with us um on replays of all the past Transformation Tuesdays, because this one, it just connects. You'll be like, once you get through all of them, then you'll be like, woo, this was, this is exactly what I wanted. And these tips help. These tips are very good. These strategies are great for your life, but you have to implement them. You have to find time. I tell people, my goal in life is to simplify to prioritize. I'm sorry, Lord. Organize to prioritize to simplify. And it's really, you really can do it. You really, really can do it. So I am going to sign off. I don't stay on these lives long. And for me, this hour was great. I enjoyed it. Make sure you share this link with anyone you know. And make sure you go join the Living Your Millionaire Dream Life Facebook group. And I will see you all in 2 weeks for the next Transformation Tuesday. See you all later and have a wonderful Tuesday. And make sure that you are speaking life to someone today with a smile. It doesn't take words. You don't have to use words all the time. You can do it with a smile. You could do it with a wave. You can do this. You will be saving someone's life just by speaking hello. All right. Bye.